Step in the ring, no fear, all bite, hands up high. We train for this fight, bell gon' ring, it's war on sight. This is boxing life, this is fight night. Sweat on the floor, we grind, we climb. Every bruise on the body means we're on our time.
Red Corner Boxing. We're in the game.
Yes, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Red Corner Boxing X Prediction League time. My name's Mr. Neutral, and it's 8 o'clock. Now, before we get started, this program sponsored by EasyStorage.com and BoxingFightZone.com. Make sure you go check them all out in the bios. Well, look, Fight Week 6 was last week. Let's have a look at that first, and we'll see how the results went. Jab It Boxing, 116 points. Last week's winner goes top of the shop, 715. Who was the leader, is now in second, 710, just 5 points behind. Sweet Pugilism climbs into third, 705, and Spit Bucket Podcast slips into fourth, 86 points, 702. Max Calandrillo improves, 696, and there's a bit of a gap to Lee Mack, Graham Walker, and C. Miller. As you can see there, they got some work to do. Right, let's get to Fight Week 7. First fight on the card. I don't find it myself. There it is. Kazuto Takasako versus Mikio Sakai. This is Thursday, 12th of March, tomorrow from Tokyo. 18-3-1 Takasako against 6-5-1 Sakai. This is for the Japanese middleweight vacant title. Now let's get straight to the predictions, and I can tell you that the league leader said Jab It Boxing said Takasako in round 4. Says Takasako in round 3. Sweet Pugilism thinks it's a little bit later. Knockout round 6, Takasako. Spit Bucket Podcast agrees with Sweet Pugilism. Knockout round 6. And Max Calandrillo's only a round behind. Round 7, he says, for Takasako. Lee Mack, our man from the Northwest. Knockout round 7, agrees with Max C. Graham Walker says unanimous decision for Takasako, goes against the grain. And C. Miller says knockout mid-rounds, round 6. Let's move on to the next fight. That's also from the same card. Nani Yamaka versus Mika Yagio. This is for the Oriental and Pacific Boxing Federation flyweight vacant title. Yamaka's 8-1-0. She's a southpaw. Yagio is 7-4-1, who's an orthodox. A little bit taller, though. Now, split decision. Yamaka says Jab It Boxing. Says unanimous decision. Yamaka. Sweet Pugilism agrees with him, as does Spit Bucket Podcast, as does Max C, as does Lee Mack, as does Graham Walker, and indeed C. Miller. All go unanimous decision for Yamaka. Moving on to the last fight on this card tomorrow night, and it's Katsuyuya Fukuya versus Unibert Bantai. A super bantamweight affair over 8 rounds. Japan versus the Philippines. 9-1-0 apiece. This is an interesting fight. Now, Jab It Boxing says Fukui, 6-round knockout. Says 7th round knockout for Fukui. Sweet Pugilism, Spit Bucket Podcast, Max Calandrillo, all say unanimous decision for Fukui. Lee Mack says knockout round 6. Graham Walker says knockout round 5. And C. Miller rounds it off with a unanimous decision. And all those are for Fukui. Moving on. And we got Naji Lopez versus Manuel Gallegos. Friday the 13th, if that means anything to you guys. Doesn't to me, I'm not superstitious. But it's a light heavyweight affair over 10 rounds. 15-0-0 Lopez. 22-3-1 Gallegos. He's no mug, but he's lost 2 of his last 4. Lopez, the big knockout merchant. Well, that's going to reflect in the predictions because Jab It Boxing says knockout in round 4. He'd be on the floor. Says knockout round 8 Lopez. He'll be great. Unanimous decision, says Sweet Pugilism for Lopez. Spit Bucket Podcast agrees with Jabby Boxing, knockout round 4. Max Calandrillo, knockout round 3, sees it earlier. Lee Mack, even earlier still, knockout round 2 for Lopez. Graham Walker, mid-rounds, knockout round 5. And C. Miller says unanimous decision for Lopez. Let's moving on. We're going to this side of the pond to Ireland, and it's Jazza Dickens, and he is up against Anthony Kakachi. Quite a great fight. We're looking forward to this on Saturday night from Dublin. 36-5-0 Dickens, 24-1-0 Kakachi. So two southpaws. It's going to be a fascinating affair. Let's kick it off with Jabby Boxing says knockout round 7 for Anthony Kakachi. We have unanimous decision, says was for Kakachi. Sweet Pugilism says knockout round 10, Kakachi. Spit Bucket, knockout round 9, Kakachi. Max Calandrillo, unanimous decision, Kakachi. Lee Mack, split decision, Kakachi. Graham Walker, majority decision, Kakachi. And C. Miller, unanimous decision for the Irishman. Incredible that not one person has given Jazza Dickens a chance. Moving on. We got Pierce O'Leary versus Maxie Hughes for the IBO World Super Vacant title, lightweight. 18-0 O'Leary, 29-8-2 Maxie Hughes. It's another interesting fight. Now, Jabby Boxing says unanimous decision O'Leary. Was says majority decision O'Leary. Sweet Pugilism, unanimous decision for Maxie Hughes. Here's where the differences start. Spit Bucket Podcast says unanimous decision O'Leary. Max Calandrillo says Max Hughes will win by unanimous decision. And we got Lee Max says knockout round 8 O'Leary. Graham Walker says majority decision for O'Leary. And C. Miller says split decision for O'Leary. Moving on to the next fight is John O'Carroll up against Colin Murphy. And this is going to be a fascinating fight indeed as well. Super featherweight affair over 12 rounds for the IBO super featherweight vacant title. It's Ireland versus United Kingdom once again. 25-3-1 Carroll, 16-0 Colin Murphy. Now, unanimous decision, Colin Murphy says Jabby Boxing. Was agrees with him. Unanimous decision. Sweet Pugilism says unanimous decision, John O'Carroll. Spit Bucket Podcast agrees with him. 2 apiece now. Max Calandrillo says majority decision for Murphy. Lee Mack says knockout round 7 for Murphy. Graham Walker says majority decision for Carroll. And C. Miller says unanimous decision for Murphy. So we got quite the difference of opinion in that fight. As we move on to Stephen Cairns and Arnie Dawson. And this is 13-0 Cairns versus 8-1-0 Arnie Dawson, lightweight over 10 rounds. 23 years apiece. They're both orthodox. Could be a good fight, this. Let's get going. Now, I can tell you it's all one-way traffic. Jabby Boxing, unanimous decision. Was, unanimous decision. Sweet Pugilism, unanimous decision. Spit Bucket Podcast, knockout round 3. Max Calandrillo, unanimous decision. Lee Mack, knockout round 4. Graham Walker, knockout round 6. And C. Miller, unanimous decision. All for Stephen Cairns. Incredible. Moving on. European welterweight title fight. Did I get that right? Super lightweight, actually. John Fernandez, Samai Bilal, Spain and Netherlands, 12 rounds, super lightweight, 28-3-0 Fernandez, 18-1-0 Samai Bilal. As I said, for the European super lightweight title. Now, this one is knockout round 10. Fernandez says Jabby Boxing. Was says knockout round 10. He agrees with him. Knockout round 7 says Sweet Pugilism. Fernandez. And Spit Bucket Podcast agrees with him. Unanimous decision for Fernandez is Max Calandrillo. And we have Lee Mack, who's gone unanimous decision for Bilal. We have Graham Walker with a majority decision for Fernandez. And C. Miller says unanimous decision again for Fernandez. Pretty one-way traffic in that one, it seems. Let's cross the pond back to America. Yes, there it is. We've got Arnold Barbosa Jr. against Kenny Sims Jr. Welterweight affair over 12 rounds, 32-1-0 Barbosa. We know him very well. 22-3-1 Kenny Sims. We know him very well as too, but he lost his last fight, as did Barbosa. That's how we know them very well. And yeah, take your pick him on this one, because I think this is quite a close one. However, as we go to jab at boxing, our leader, who says unanimous decision for Barbosa, and Woz agrees with him. So does Sweet Pugilism. So does Spit Pocket Podcast. Oh, you D for Barbosa. Now, let's go to Max Calandrillo. Majority decision for Kenny Sims Jr. Lee Mack says unanimous decision for Kenny Sims Jr. Graham Walker, though, says majority decision for Barbosa. And C. Miller says split decision Barbosa. Good one. Right. Let's move to the wee guys. Yes, the wee guys indeed. Oscar Calazzo versus Jesus Haro, Puerto Rico, United States. 12 rounds at minimum weight. For the WBO title as well, probably the WBA. 13-0-0 Calazzo, 13-3-0 Haro. I can tell you now, it's all one-way traffic. Take your pick him, knock him out, and it says here, knockout round 6, jab at boxing. Knockout round 4 for Woz. Knockout round 9 for Sweet Pugilism. Knockout round 7 for Spit Pocket Podcast. Knockout round 9 for Max Calandrillo. Knockout round 5 for Lee Mack. Knockout round 4 for Graham Walker. And knockout round 11 for C. Miller, all for Haro. No, I don't mean that. They mean Calazzo. I was just joking. Oscar Calazzo, all by knockout in them rounds. Well done to them. Right. Let's go to the next fight. And it's Alexis Roca versus Jojo Diaz. I'm looking forward to this fight myself. Two southpaws, two experienced guys, 28 and 33 respectively. Although Jojo's not on a great run so far, he's still very good. Now, 25-2-1 Roca is the favourite. 34-8-1 Jojo Diaz. Let's go to the predictions. Jab at boxing says split decision for Roca. Woz and Sweet Pugilism have gone unanimous decision for Roca. Now, here's the difference. Spit Pocket Podcast has gone with Jojo Diaz by UD. That's fascinating. Let's get back to Max Calandrillo, who says knockout round 10 for the young star. Roca. Young star, I meant that's Max. Split decisions for Roca, says Lee Mack. Unanimous decision for Graham Walker for Roca. And knockout round 9 for C. Miller. All for Alexis Roca. Moving on. And we have, good fight here. Gabriel Fundora defending her multiple titles against Viviana Gurus Corridor of Australia. There's 20 years difference in this age gap here. 17-0 Fundora, 10-2-0 Corridor. Southpaw versus Orthodox, 5'9", 5'2", massive height advantage once again. That will reflect in this Prediction League, X League. UD, jab at boxing, Fundora. Knockout, round 4, Woz Fundora. UD says Sweet Pugilism, Fundora. UD, Spit Bucket Podcast, Fundora. Knockout round 9, says Max Calandrillo. Knockout round 8 for Lee Mack, for Fundora. Unanimous decision for Graham Walker. And knockout round 7 for C. Miller. Fascinating. Moving on. Anthony Olisgaga's back. He's up against Lemura of Japan, I think. Yes, Takeya Lemura. 12-round 5-weight affair. 11-1-0, 9-1-0. But both on good runs. This is going to be, I don't think this is going to be as easy as people think. However, again, it's all one-way traffic. Knockout round 10 says Jabit Boxing for Olis Kagaga. Knockout round 5, Olis Kagaga says not sweet pugilism, was UD sweet pugilism for Olis Kagaga, as does Spit Bucket, as does Max Calandrillo, all UD Olis Kagaga. Knockout round 6 says Lee Mack for Olis Kagaga, as does Graham Walker, knockout round 6, and C. Miller rounds it off with unanimous decision for Olis Kagaga. As we move to the final fight of fight week 7, 15th and final fight. This is CP Freshmart up against Iwata of Japan. His real name is Thamanun Neonomtrong. Oh, I'm glad I got that right first time round. 12 rounds at light flyweight, 29-1-0 CP Freshmart, 15-2-0 Iwata. Although there's late money coming in on Iwata, I can tell you that, because Jabit Boxing goes split decision. Iwata says unanimous decision for Iwata. If we go to Sweet Pugilism, it's UD for CP Freshmart, as does Spit Bucket Podcast, and as does Max Calandrillo. Now, if we get back to Lee Mack, he says UD for Iwata. Let's go to Graham Walker. Majority decision, CP Freshmart. And C. Miller rounds off this week with unanimous decision for CP Freshmart. And there it is. That's fight week 7, all done, predicted by the X-League lads. We wish them all the very best of luck. Join us for any watch-alongs we've got this weekend. We will be advertising them very, very soon. Join us on Friday for the review session of this card. Well, all get a few of us in, break down the predictions and why they picked who they've picked, and that should be fun. So join us for that. This program is sponsored by EasyStories.com and Boxing Fight Zone.
BoxingFightZone.com for all your boxing apparel.
There you go. And if you're new to Red Corner for the first time, please give us a like and subscribe. But don't take my word for it. Take someone famous as well.
All right, guys. It's Brad Pauls, the Nuki Bomb here. Give Red Corner Boxing a like and subscribe. Check them out. Great bunch of lads. Get up, Corner Boys.
Get up, my son. Thanks very much indeed. This is Mr. Neutral. Red Corner, X Prediction League. I'll be back next week at the usual time of Wednesday, 9 o'clock. And we'll see you then. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Step in the ring, no fear, all bite, hands up high. We train for this fight, bell gon' ring, it's war on sight. This is boxing life, this is fight night. Sweat on the floor, we grind, we climb. Every bruise on the body means